Hello. In this, I'm going to explain you a complete detail of shells, subshells, and orbitals. First, we visualize atom here. Atom first, we have a nucleus in center, and it is positively charged because of proton. An electron revolve around the nucleus. Electron is a negatively charged particle. Now, because of proton and electron, there is a force of attraction takes place between them. If I want electron which is in the inner circle, from there I want this electron to jump to the second outer circle, then I should apply a minimum energy to make electron jump towards the outer circle. So the energy which I am applying, that is the outside source which I am applying there, that is nothing but known as discrete energy. For example, if there is a staircase and you doesn't lift your leg or foot to certain height, then you cannot climb the staircase. Similarly here, as you need to give a minimum energy to the electron, then only the electron can move from second circle to the third circle, from the third to the fourth circle. This level of energy is nothing but known as discrete energy level. As you can see these circles are nothing but called as energy levels or shells. You can see the first shell has denoted by K, second shell is denoted by L, and the third shell, as you can see, denoted by M, and in the same way fourth shell with N. The numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 are quantum numbers and also called as energy levels. Here we see how many electrons are present in each shell. The shell which is closer to the nucleus contains 2 electrons. Similarly, second shell or L shell has 8 electrons in it. Third shell can be having 18 electrons, and fourth shell is having 32 electrons. So if we visualize this in a pattern form, tabular form, we get that in energy level 1 we have 2 electrons, in 2 8, in 3 18, and in 4 we have 32 electrons. Here we apply a general formula, that is 2n square. That means if I want to get 8 electrons, then in place of n I will be adding 2 there. That means n square means I'll be adding 2 square. 2 square is nothing but 4. 4, then I'll add 2 into 4, that is 8. Togetherly I got 8 electrons. And next, if you see, if I want 32 electrons, in place of n I'll be adding 4 energy level. That means 4 square is equal to 16. Then 16 into 2 is equal to, it will be around 32 electrons. That means 32 electrons I have been got of fourth energy level. Hope here you understood how to apply the general formula. Now these shells are having subshells. If you can see there, subshells are shown in a tabular form. That is, energy for the first energy level you have S subshell. In the same way you have 1 2 3 4. For the second energy level you have S and P, and third energy level you have S, P and D. Similarly, for 4 energy level you have subshells of S, P, D and F. So in this way we visualize a pattern that 1 energy level has 1 subshell, and 2 energy level has 2 subshell, 3 energy level has 3 subshell, and 4 has 4 subshell. Now here we are representing these subshells in a diagrammatical representation form. As you can see, this is an atom, and here the atoms of each sector has been magnified. And here, to understand clearly, in this shell number 1, that is K shell, we have subshell only one, that is we have S subshell. As you can see, only one shell, that is only one subshell, that is S subshell. In the same way, in L shell we have 2 subshell, that is S and P. And when you come here with the M shell, you have subshells of S and P and D. And when you come to the N shell, you have S, P, D, F. So I hope in this picture it is very clear that in an atom you have subshells in a shells. I hope you understood shells and subshells. So the last one we are going to learn here is about orbitals, the final location of electrons. Subshells, we have orbitals, which is the final position of the electron. Each subshells has a certain number of orbitals, as you can see here in the tabular form. Subshells and orbitals. If you see S subshell, you have one orbital, and P subshell you have three orbitals, D subshell you have five orbitals, and the same way F subshell you have seven orbitals. That means an orbital can accommodate maximum of two electrons. In shells you have subshells, in subshells you have orbitals. The key point is here, in one subshell how many orbitals are present, you need to memorize and remember. Now next, this orbital has been classified into diagrammatical representation form, as you can see here. In the similarly, in an atom, different in atom sector has been magnified into diagrammatical representation form. If you see these subshells, the shells and the subshells and the orbital present inside it. If you see here K shell, that is energy level, first energy level K shell, you have S subshell and one orbital which is has been termed with a circle there. Next, come to the L shell, you have a subshell of S and P, and in S subshell you have one orbital, in the P subshell you have three orbitals, 1 2 3. These subshells are denoted by a circle here. Now comes to the M shell, you have a subshell of SPD, and in S you have one orbital, P you have 1 2 3 orbitals, in the same way D you have 1 2 3 4 and 5 orbitals. Come to the N shell, you have a subshell of SPDF. Togetherly four subshells you have, and S you have one orbital, in the P you have three orbitals, and D you have 1 2 3 4 5 orbitals. In the same way F you have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 orbitals. So here in this clip we completely visualize the orbitals. Now we are going to learn about the electrons present inside the orbital. As you can see, the similar thing, atom structure. In the atom, different sector of an atom has been magnified. That means K shell, that is energy level 1 K shell, you have S subshell, and in one orbital you have two electrons. That means S subshell togetherly have two electrons. In the same way, when you come towards the L shell, that means energy level is 2, and L shell having two subshell S and P, and S you have one orbital with two electrons, and P you have two electrons in all the three orbitals. That means togetherly you have how many? 8 electrons. 4 5 6 7 8. That means here you can say energy level of 2 L shell consists of completely 8 electrons. If you count in the orbitals, the complete be 8 electrons. In this way, the next shell, if you see, there is M shell. In the M shell also, that means the energy level is 3, and M shell you have subshells of S, P and D. S contains one orbital, SP and D. S contains one orbital with two electrons. In the same way, P contains three orbitals with two electrons in it. In the same way, D contains again 5 orbitals, 1 2 3 4 5 orbitals with two electrons in it. That means if you count these all electrons of the M shell, togetherly it will be complete 18 electrons. As by seeing these diagrammatical representation, we can say that the subshells are depends on the energy levels. That means how much number of energy level, that many number of subshells you have. As you can see here, the energy level is 4, then the number of subshells are SPDF. If it is 3, they are SPD. If they are 2, they are SP. In the same way, if you see N shell, you have shells SPDF, and in S you have one orbital and two electrons, and the same way P you have three orbitals and two electrons in each of the orbitals, and D you have 5 orbitals and two electrons in each of the orbitals. In F you have 7 orbitals and in each of the 7 orbitals you have two electrons. That means togetherly if you count spdf subshells and their electrons present inside the subshells, it will be 32 electrons. To understand this clearly, even you can put a formula, that is general formula 2n square. So in the place of n you can put 4, that means 4 square is equal to 16, then you add multiply 16 into 2 is equal to 32 electrons. So togetherly there are 32 electrons in the n shell. So here I hope you completely understood about the shell, subshell and the orbitals. Thank you.